Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Football.
And welcome in to the Inside Arkansas Football post-game live reaction presented by Saracen, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. I'm Curtis Wilkerson, joined by Andrew Ellis with Inside Arkansas. The Razorbacks fall to Auburn 33-24 after scoring 21 unanswered and leading by 2 scores heading into halftime. A lot of people thought Auburn was going to let go of the rope in this football game, given their circumstances. A lot of people thought that Arkansas was going to get off the schneid and finally get over the hump. But, there's been so much focus on everybody else when Arkansas is the common denominator in its own demise every single week. It was predictable if you really think about it. This program does not know how to win football games, regardless of who they're playing. You get a pick six, you get a quarterback change, you get a team that's physically incapable of passing the football, doesn't matter. Auburn scores 1 offensive touchdown against your absentee defense. It doesn't matter. Hugh Freeze did everything in his power to hand it to the Hogs and get himself fired. Doesn't matter. He lives to see another day. 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter by the Razorbacks, 6 straight losses, this one to a bad team. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm at a breaking point. And frankly, I'm over it. Like, enough of the nonsense, enough of the nostalgia, the moral victory, the golf clap BS. I'm over it. It's time for a top-down overhaul with this football program. Let's cut the crap and get back to business. Andrew, please talk me off the ledge or validate how I feel one way or the other. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of seeing it. This was ridiculous.
It was, and it was unacceptable, man. And you've just run out of excuses. When you enter a game where both teams are winless in the SEC, these are the very 2 worst teams so far in the SEC this year. Everyone's kind of looking at you. You're like the 2 crackheads fighting outside of the restaurant. Everyone's kind of looking at you and poking fun. When you come out on the losing end of a game like that, it's really hard to have any type of silver lining. It's really hard to come out of that and say, well, it was close. Well, it was competitive. Those are the things that we've been saying the last 2 weeks. And by the way, we've been saying, and I'm not running away from that, but we also said all that goes out the window if you lose one of these next 2 games, Auburn or Mississippi State. They've lost one. Now we're going to see if they lose both. Like I said, all of that goes out of the window. All of that kumbaya, they're fighting hard for Bobby. Their eyes are in the right place. The offense is still great. It's tough, man. And, so often if you had told me Arkansas was going to lose by double digits today, Curtis, I would have probably said, okay, so the defense just got exposed again and they gave up 500 yards of offense. That wasn't even what happened. You had a backup quarterback who didn't even really have to throw the ball. He completed 1 downfield pass all game. That's all it took. Your offense completely imploded in the second half. You scored 3 points in the second half when you had multiple opportunities to put the game away. It's crazy how it's a similar formula that Arkansas loses in, and it's kind of predictable, but they somehow pull it off in a way that you don't see it coming. Because I got to be honest, Curtis, I didn't wake up today and think I was going to see it play out that way. Even at halftime, you and I are talking. We're walking to the pisser, and we're like, it's 21-10, and we're like, man. So like, if they end up kind of just controlling this game, taking care of the clock, like we actually felt pretty good. Like, we were having a good time. We were smiling.
We're laughing in Quinn's face because Hugh Freeze is an idiot. Yeah,
all
those things were happening.
Yeah, we were having a great time in our section, man. We were making friends. It was a good time, and they somehow snuck up and got us. I don't know how they managed to do it. I don't know how you can lose 6 straight weeks and it sneak up on you, but it happened.
I'm pissed off right now. Second half drive charts. Let me do this real quick. Auburn, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal. That was their drive charts. Now, they had the pick 6 mixed in there. They couldn't score. They can't score. They're inept offensively. It's unbelievable to watch them and watch Hugh Freeze call plays. I don't know what the hell happened to that guy. It's crazy. But then I look over at the Arkansas side because, frankly, and we were there. Like, we were physically at this game. That's why we got started a few minutes later than we normally do because we had to get home. But it was lifeless in Razorback Stadium and out there on the field for a quarter and a half there until Arkansas had to play where Raylan Sharp made the catch. Auburn's defender fell down and they got a touchdown. And all of a sudden, the Razorbacks poured it on them. It's 21-10, and you feel like they have full momentum there. But, yeah, you mentioned it. Arkansas scores 3 points or whatever in the second half. But you look at the Razorback drive chart after halftime, what the hell happened here? Punt and field goal in the third quarter. The fourth quarter, interception, which was a pick 6, fumble, interception, interception. What happened? We spend so much time blaming this defense, and let me be clear, they were not good in this football game. Had Hugh Freeze have turned around and handed the football off every single play in this game, Arkansas would have lost by 3 scores. But he didn't do that because he's weird. I don't understand. I don't get it. Whatever. What happened, happened. But you got enough out of there to where you should have been able to win this football game. But then your offense goes crazy. At the end of the day, it's still a cultural issue with this football team. They don't know how to finish. They play to the level of their competition, whoever it is, but just slightly below to where you're going to leave with an L every single time. It's maddening. It's frustrating. There was no excuse for this to happen, and it did. So I understand. We spent the whole week, we wasted a lot of time talking about the momentum that was being built, and maybe they're just going to win these 2 games here, and then they're going to hire Bobby, and boy, you're going to get a head start on everything. You're not going to have to worry about this. Bullshit. This is ridiculous, man. I'm irritated by this. This one really got to me because there's just no excuse for it. And honestly, Andrew, I get it. Arkansas wins this football game. It doesn't matter. Congratulations. Clap, clap, bravo. You beat a team that sucked. You're 3-5 on the season, whatever. But the fact that you lost it the way you did, which is just again and again and again and again, over and over and over, I'm sick of it, man. I'm tired of watching it. I'm tired of talking about it. Something has to change. You got the opportunity to do it. Do it.
Everything in life is about the lens you view it through, and you can always kind of look at anything. 2 people can look at the same thing and kind of talk themselves into 2 completely different interpretations, and that's something we've been doing a lot. And we've looked at this Tennessee game where Arkansas goes on the road in Knoxville, and you end up losing by 1 possession. And anytime you lose by 1 possession, you can always pick 3 of your favorite plays throughout the game and say, well, if we just this didn't happen, that didn't happen, and this didn't happen, we're right there in it. I think this is the type of game, Curtis, I look at, and again, this is with a worse team than the last 2 Arkansas played. I look at this game, Curtis, and I say, man, I'm going to pick 3 plays. That Raylan Sharp play where the defender kind of just falls down. Rohan Jones, who makes 3 awesome plays, by the way, gets behind the defense. Outside of that, your offense did nothing. Like the vast majority, they finished with like 320 yards. Almost all of that came on 4 plays. It wasn't like you were consistently moving the ball, consistently making things happen. And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, if you take away just these 3 random fluke shot plays that you had, you kind of got dominated by a team that everyone else agrees and everyone else has seen might be one of the worst teams in the SEC also. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just don't know if there's a positive spin here. And that's what makes this loss a little bit different than these last 2, where it really was a little bit easier to do the kind of, honorable mention. Okay, hey, they played hard. It's fine. You could kind of look at it through whatever lens. There's just not a lens you can look at this loss through and say, no, that is not what a really bad program that needs a complete overhaul, like you said earlier, looks like. I don't know how you can look at a game like this. And I know there were a lot of people that were upset at us for not being, I guess, more receptive to the notion that they should just go ahead and lift the interim tag off of Bobby and we should end this conversation. It's not that we hate Bobby. It's not that we think he's an incompetent coach, but this was always something that could happen, that you just wind up continuing to lose these games. And so we were very against the idea that you would give the guy the job before they've accomplished anything. This was your tailor-made opportunity to accomplish something against a bad Auburn team that started the wrong quarterback and wanted to fire their coach. They still want to fire their coach. In fact, it's possible they still do fire their coach mid-season, even after beating you. You might be the new Mississippi State.
But that's good company to keep. That's great. I can't wait for that to happen if that happens. And, there's part of me that wants to say, well, credit to Auburn's defense because they've been great all year. But no, I don't even want to. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that in this game. At the end of the day, it was the same story written just a little bit differently. And folks, please get your chats in because we're definitely going to get to them. What the hell do you want us to say? Arkansas played a football game and they lost. All right, this is kind of what they've been doing here for 6 straight. Everybody they played with a pulse. It's happened. And yeah, it's maddening. It's frustrating. You play all these 1-score games. This was not a 1-score game, but it is what it is. Close, whatever. Who cares? The end result still winds up being the same here. And again, like they do the same thing every week. They just find a slightly different way to do it. So we could sit here and break it all down. And oh boy, what happened with what were they reading Taylor's eyes? This guy who got 7 interceptions in the 4th quarter or whatever happened. Oh damn, another fumble by a wide receiver. It doesn't matter. The end result is going to continue to be the same. I don't even know what to say. We were talking about it And actually, when we left at the start of the fourth quarter there, I guess Auburn had just kicked a field goal and it was 24-19. I think that's when we walked out of there. And as things were unfolding, as we were walking back to the car, watching on our phones, we were thinking, like how do we sit up here and talk about this? Like, what is there to say at this point? Like, I don't even know how to react. And then by the time I got home and watched the rest of it unfold, I was just pissed off, man. And now I'm just angry. I'm madder now than I was after Notre Dame, madder than I was after Tennessee and A&M. For whatever reason, this one got me. And I think it's just because I know Auburn is not good. And I sit there and watch Hugh Freeze get in his own way that entire football game. And it was like you had yourselves on your side for a minute, and you had Auburn on your side. You had their coach on your side. Maybe even some officiating, and you still found a way to lose. It's like, what the hell do you have to do to win a football game? I just want a football team that wins games. That's it. That's all I ask for.
I'm with you in terms of like not knowing how to process it. And again, it's like, if you had told me, if I'd woke up this morning and someone had told me, hey, I'm from the future and Arkansas loses by 9, I really wouldn't have been that upset. It's not like a thing where I'd have been like, no way in hell they could have done that. But somehow they did it in a way that I just wasn't prepared for. And, you touch on, I feel like you and I view this thing sometimes through a storytelling lens of we're trying to process why something happens. And so a lot of times if, a guy gets hurt and your team loses, we can process that. We can make sense of that. Oh, our defensive line depth is depleted. They ran the ball on us. Okay, we can process that. That makes sense. What you don't have on your bingo card is this. And, we talked coming into the week about what is the story of this team going to end up being? What is the story of, by the way, Taylon Green's career? Because I even made the case where, hey, if this turns out well and they win a few games down the stretch and Bobby ends up getting the job, maybe Taylon Green becomes this kind of Felipe Frank-esque figure who represents the changing of the guard in the program. And he was kind of a guy that was fighting and leading the country in total yardage and all this great stuff. In order for us to tell that story, you got to win football games, man. And it's unfortunate, man, because I know we've all talked about the fun highlight plays. We've talked about the yardage. They kind of came into this game leading the country in yards per play, leading the country in total offense, leading the SEC in all these categories, and no one gives a damn because you don't win football games. And so I hate to say it, man. Like, I've had a lot of fun watching Taylon Green play football. I'm not going to tell my grandchildren about Taylon Green. Like, I'm just not. I'm not going to be like, hey, son, there was this awesome quarterback. He had a lot of yardage. Does that mean anything to you? On October 25th, he led the country in yardage. Now, they were 2-6 and lost 6 straight and completely quit on multiple coaches, but led the country in yardage. That's just not what we're going to do.
331 yards in this. That's got to be a season low, right?
I would imagine so.
Yards.
Because the Memphis game, they had over 500, I believe.
Yeah.
Is this a right into the chat? Because I'm very interested. I haven't even had time to really monitor what everybody's saying. So Cameron, we appreciate your service on this beautiful Saturday.
Yeah, keep doing the Lord's work.
Appreciate everybody for being here in the super chats, but this is gonna be a long one to process, I feel like.
It absolutely is. Let's pay a couple bills first. Hey, are you tired of juggling insurance companies just to find the right coverage? Me too. At OZK Insurance and Rogers, they make insurance simple again. As a 100% independent agency, they shop the entire marketplace to deliver the best combination of cost and coverage, saving you both time and money so you can donate to the football program so they can get better players like everybody in the chat is telling me to do right now. Whether it's home, auto, boat, motorcycle, life, or commercial insurance, their friendly team has access to a wide range of flexible options designed just for you. They serve Northwest and Central Arkansas, including Bentonville, Centerton, Fayetteville, Little Rock, Hot Springs, Springdale, and beyond. Let OZK Insurance be the trusted advisor you never knew you needed. They have over 600 five-star Google reviews. How many does this football program have right now? I don't know. We'll check after the show. Start today with a free online quote at ozkinsurance.com or call 479-715-4200. OZK Insurance, protection made simple. All right, let's get into it. See what's going on over here. Basson, he's in here. He says, that was painful. Hey, basketball Final Four loading. It's funny because I said at the end of the post-game show last night after Arkansas basketball just absolutely destroyed a Cincinnati. Guess what Arkansas basketball did last night? They beat the hell out of a bad team. What a novel concept, right? It's unbelievable how that's possible. And I said, I'm not going to let this football game affect me. It's not going to ruin my vibes. It did. It did. I'm pissed off right now. I'm not going to lie. I'll shake it off. I'll go back and watch the highlights against Cincinnati and I'll be all right. But this one irritated me. Yeah, I hope so. I hope that there's a Final Four loading.
You ever see pictures of yourself like from the past and you kind of remember you were like, oh man, I was so happy in that moment. I had no idea the misery that was coming my way. I keep thinking back to specific moments in the game, Curtis. We're having such a good time. The first thing you said to me when we got in the car this morning, you said, you still buzzing from last night? You were like, you were still already riding that high. And we were like, yeah, no matter what happens in this football game, we're going to be in a good mood because of this basketball team. And you're right, man. They duped us again.
Oh man, I didn't think I was gonna let this get me. It did. Tuna's House of Influence. Appreciate the super chat. It says typical Hog football playing down the competition. They certainly did that today. Let's turn to basketball. That's what I'm gonna do. Or the coaching search. I want Golish, who lost to Ryan Silverfield in Memphis today. Franklin, who is fired. Summerall, I don't know what he did. Or Lashley, did they win? Did they pull it out against Wake Forest?
I don't know. I haven't been checking scores. I've been completely off my phone because I'm trying to avoid some spoilers for some certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Did Golish really blow the lead to Silverfield?
I saw people saying that in the chat, so I'm assuming it's true. I should not assume that everything they say is true.
Like that. Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, let me actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do this in real time here and just see what that looks like. South
also, SMU did lose, it says.
SMU did lose?
To Wake Forest.
34-31. Memphis beat South Florida.
Dude, that's a sketchy little loss there.
So the only winner of the names that have been linked to the Arkansas job, at least by On3, is Ryan Silverfield in Memphis. So hop on board if you want to. He lost to Alex Mortensen last week. But at any rate, Caleb Senpai says, sell the farm. Give me Gruden and Coach O. You know who didn't lose this week?
Gruden.
John Gruden and Coach O, baby.
Undefeated this year, actually, in the NIL era.
Undefeated, man. Oh, goodness gracious. We've got RWS MTG. We appreciate it. He says, this game was scripted. You can't convince me otherwise. I don't know if it was scripted in terms of how it was going to play out, but the end was written. The end was written before it started. That's just kind of where we're at this point.
I will say, if someone was writing a script, they did such a good job because if you listen to our pregame show, there were specific things that we called for that did come to fruition. We called for the sack and the turnover. We got that. We called for the Quincy Rhodes. We got that. We called for the bad quarterback decision. And when Jackson Arnold made that last throw he made on that RPO, we were trying to make sense of that decision. That is a decision you can really only explain by either point shaving, stupidity, or just rigging things for TV.
That was crazy. Shout out to Kanai Walker, though, for getting the 89-yard pick six, man. Golly. Oh, how do you get that and then lose this? All right. Team kicked like 9 field goals. What just happened? I don't even understand. Woo Pig Nation, thank you. We do appreciate you. It's a good looking baby right there in the Abbey there. It says, this game and the continuation of the turnover battle losses prove it's just time for a major change with this football program. That's the realization I got right then. And I get it. Like did Bobby Petrino throw the interceptions in the fourth quarter? No. Did he fumble the football in the fourth quarter? No, he didn't. Did he recruit the defense that couldn't stop the run? No, he did. I understand all those things, but it just feels like maybe he's a casualty of what's going on here. I feel like they just got to completely start from scratch. And I'm not, I'm sensitive to people losing energy. This has happened to me before, but it's almost like everything associated with that has to go away, and you have to get newness in there to change this culture. It's crazy, man. Sure, they've been playing hard. And yeah, I do think they've made some improvements, especially the last couple weeks after they made the change there. They haven't quit. They haven't let go of the rope, but good grief. Like at some point, something's got to give. This one is the one that broke me more than any of the others. I think that's clear by anyone who's watched the last 20 minutes, but good Lord, man.
Yeah, I definitely, obviously, yeah, I'm good with there needing to be a complete overhaul, a complete change. I will even settle for just, we clearly can't just keep doing the same thing. We can't just, for everyone that, I'm sure we're going to get into it because I've already seen the chat starting to backtrack, Curtis, where they're like, hey, nobody actually wanted Petrino to be the head coach. We were just making conversation. No, we weren't saying we wanted him to be the head coach. Everyone's already backtracking, which is fine. You should backtrack. But I think that we can at least settle for until something drastically changes, you don't just run it back with this same coaching staff or maybe even this coaching staff, a modified version of it. It just isn't a thing that happens. You don't just when an interim coach takes over for a fired coach, that interim coach does not get the job without winning football games. Like that just has to be a thing.
Okay, big deep breath. We're back into it. Arkansas. Thank you, buddy. Hope you enjoyed the basketball game last night. I'm sure you did. He says, I wish I was even half as upset as you all. I feel nothing. I'm entirely apathetic about this team. I found myself laughing more than anything today. I did laugh a lot. I thought that I was numb to it, but I'm not. I try to be. I try to wash my hands with it, but I care. And it bothers me when this stuff happens, even if it's a lost season. It's been a lost season for several weeks now. I understand that, but
hey, Curtis, you're hurting because you care. It means you care, and that's a good thing. It's good that you're hurting, Curtis. It means you care.
Thanks, Sam. Okay, Mason Furlow says Talon was literally giving them the ball. He quite literally did in the fourth quarter. I don't know what happened there.
One time he used a messenger in Omega Blake, but yeah.
I mean, it's the same guy got 2 picks. I think, I don't know. I don't even remember who got the last one. It just, what are you going to do? Talon Green, for those who aren't aware of the stats, 14 of 22 in this football game. It was raining some, not as bad as we thought it would. 268 yards, a touchdown, 3 interceptions. And he only ran it 7 times for 14 yards. I was a little bit surprised by that. And, I think about this. Arkansas rushed 23 times, passed 22 times. It was like a 50-50 split in these elements there. They only had 45 plays from scrimmage.
Their good plays were so big that it's like even their good drives only lasted 4 or 5 plays.
Dude, Auburn had 70. They ran 70 plays. So, okay, now I got to look at time of possession. Auburn, 37 minutes and 40 seconds. Arkansas,
that's not as bad as I thought.
20 seconds.
There was a point where it was 22-10 at one point.
Yeah. Goodness gracious, man. That's wild. And then you look over at the Auburn side, and it's just, they only threw it 20. They ran 70 plays. They rushed it 50 times. They handed it to Jeremiah Cobb, 28 times for 153 yards. They passed 20 times in this game, and I felt like it was 20 too many. I know Quinn did. Every time Jackson Arnold or Ashton Daniels drive back to pass, Quinn is literally screaming while they had a completely clean pocket because Arkansas wasn't really getting back there any more than it normally does. I guess they got a couple sacks, but whatever, dude. It doesn't matter. He's like, why are you throwing the football? Hugh Freeze, you idiot. He's just going nuts the whole time. And I was sitting beside him the whole time we were in the stands, Andrew, going, yeah, dude, Hugh Freeze is an idiot. What is he doing? So this is crazy.
One of my favorite parts of today's game, which it sucks that we're so pissed off. We can't even talk about all the funny Quinn stories that we have coming out of this game.
I want to go to so many more games with him.
100%. My favorite part, though, was like, there's people, of course, because you're in a group of mostly Razorback fans. So when someone is yelling sad things or mad things after a good Arkansas play, it draws attention. People kind of look over. And there was even a point where Auburn fans, like 7 rows down, looked up, and even they were kind of like, I mean, he's right. It was funny. We definitely stole the show from our section.
Jafra, thank you. We appreciate it. It says, I'd love to know what Hunter Yurchek's pitch is to any competent candidate for the job. The roots of the program alone are poison, but women's soccer is good. I mean, honestly, the pitch is going to have to be the resources that you're going to be able to have. Right. I mean, we all know that. That is the name of the game at this point. This is what we're going to pay you. This is your staff salary pool. This is what you're going to get for this advanced scouting department. And here is what we're going to be able to give you. Like, here's your rev share, but this is what you're also going to get in NIL. Like, this is how we're going to put you in a position to compete and take this job and be successful. That's all that matters. We can be irritated about this all we want to, and I certainly am. There's not a coaching candidate out there for the Arkansas job that is looking at this team being 2-6 right now going, yeah, I can't take it because of that. All he's going to want to hear is the numbers, the dollar signs, man. Show it to him, whoever it is, and that's going to make the difference. And we'll know, I think, based on this hire, whether or not it is where it needs to be or not.
Yeah.
Does that make you agree with that?
Listen, because we've been very critical of Hunter Yurchek very publicly for a long time. And we probably will continue to be, but if you want to shut us up, this would be your time to do that. Sell a candidate. And if you're unable to do that, that's fine. It makes sense because that's, the situation you're in, but then how do you get to keep your job?
Right. Yeah.
If you can't even sell someone on your highest position, then how do you get to keep your job?
Exactly. John Nice says, is Talon throwing games on purpose? No, but yeah, I mean, that was a really rough fourth quarter. There's no other way to put it. I mean, that was a rough fourth quarter for TG. He's done a lot of really, really good things, this season. He is a very good quarterback, but I do think like it's, at some point the mantra kind of sticks. Like you are the guy that gives Arkansas a chance. You absolutely are. But at one point, are you the guy that wins Arkansas a football game? Show me those games where that's happened. And I hate it because he's such a good dude. He's so talented. He's so much fun to watch. And I want it for him. I've wanted it for him every single one of these games, but hasn't been able to get over the hump yet, particularly this year.
I mean, yeah, I hate that for him too. You mentioned he's a good guy. Like it's not like I think there's like anything. I definitely don't think Talon's throwing games on purpose. We can obviously say that, but I also like it's. I don't even feel negativity towards him. It just is the reality of the situation. Is throughout his career, he's been a guy that has been fun to watch. Can make some dynamic plays. Can make some things that make you say wow. But does he put it together game to game, drive to drive, and does he kind of give you a good chance to win all these games? Not necessarily, and that's kind of, unfortunately, just going to end up being the story of his career. But like everyone else, if you want us to shut up and stop saying stuff like this, just go out there and beat Mississippi State, and then we can start from there. Go out there and beat LSU. You can shut us up, but as of right now, he has not made that Brandon Allen jump that Brandon Allen made as a senior, where he finally just got tired of losing, and he was in the same stadium against Auburn and found a way to dig deep and put up 54 and win an overtime game. And it was almost exactly this time of year in Brandon Allen's senior year where he kind of made that next step. And it just hasn't happened yet for Taylor.
2.7 yards per carry for Arkansas today.
Really bottled up Mike Washington.
Yeah, 12 for 41 for Mike. Braylon Russell, who I'm there's no doubt in my mind that on Monday we'll hear Bobby say, "Hey, we've got to get more involved in the offense. He's going to be a special player." And then he'll get 3 carries again. Yeah, Talon, they weren't really letting him get loose for anything. Shout out to Maddox Lasser. 1 carry, 1 yard, 1 first down.
Hey, his success MVP rate as a rusher, 100%.
That's right. Quinn, who we were with, appreciate you, buddy. It was good hanging out with you, man. He says, I enjoyed the game with y'all. He said, I actually feel bad for y'all. Hugh tried giving you the game. I want Hugh gone. Dumb play calling all game in the red zone. All these things were true, and you vocalized them loudly at Razorback Stadium.
Also, Quinn, you're welcome for effectively switching the vibes. When we walked out of the stadium, Arkansas just made that stop. It was 24-19 Arkansas. They had just gotten a red zone stop, and it ended up not 24-19.
BDJB, thank you, says, man, hated that TG had that performance today. The defense really did all we needed them to do today to win. This is 1,000% accurate.
How often does that happen in sports where you have this horrible defense and it's like, oh, man, we're just scoring at will. And then as soon as the offense has a bad day, that's when the defense has their best day. And you just find a unique way to lose a game. It's very similar to 2022, where out of nowhere you hold LSU to 13, but KJ was injured, so you only scored 10.
God, this irritates me so much. They literally did. This was the epitome of a bend but don't break game. You really can't ask for anything more from the Razorback defense. I mean, you gave up a touchdown on the very first drive, and I was thinking, boy, how's this going to go? But after that, field goal, punt, pick six, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal, game over. Like that. And we were doing all this talk about, leading up to the game, what Bobby said on Monday or whenever it was about how, like we really can't settle for field goals when we don't score touchdowns. It really limits our chances to win, because we're thinking, man, the offense has to play perfect. And then it flips on you. Goodness gracious. I guess so. Arkansas had 2 offensive touchdowns. No. 2 offensive touchdowns and the pick six. And then the field goal in the third quarter. Good grief. Whatever. Tyler Cox says, if we don't make a splash coaching hire this year, we won't recover for another decade.
So we got to stop doing the is going to set our program back.
That is a long time.
Chad Morris did not set Arkansas's program back 2 years, let alone a decade. Like, they went 9-4 2 years after Chad Morris, and that was before NIL. That was before you could and that was before the transfer portal. Not before the transfer portal, but at the very beginning of the portal. In this day and age, literally, no matter what you do, you can always just make the right hire, get the right guy in there, and turn your program around.
Yeah. You've got to hope that you make the right hire. I don't know how splashy it's going to be. I guess that's kind of in the eye of the beholder to a degree, but my thought process on it is, do you just kick the can down the road? Which is frankly how I feel like this might be if they did, or if they do wind up going with Bobby. Yes, I think that they could, find some short-term success there, and we could have some good moments. They'd be great, but how long is that going to last? And I just mean with him in general, with what we know about the Razorback football program, with what we know about his, track record before you're doing this again. And it makes me wonder, well, what was the point of firing Sam in the middle of this season?
Because you're not
as opposed to the end of last. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of been my thought process on it. I have no idea who they're going to hire, so I'm not even going to speculate on what that's going to look like a few years down the road. But yeah, it's more complicated now because you continue to have problems. You haven't addressed some of the financial issues yet, and there's like 50 other jobs that people could say might be better than yours that are open.
Important clarification there that you said at the end, that compared to firing him last year, which is what a lot of people, including I'm not going to name any names, but us, a lot of people did call for, hey, this might be a time to at least think about making that decision. You opted not to, and you ran it back this year. Why did you do that? If it was just going to be an abandoned ship so quickly, and if it was going to be an abandoned ship so quickly, Bobby was kind of your way out. And so again, I'm not trying to make this a Hunter Yurachek sucks podcast, but the best way for Hunter Yurachek to survive this mess would have been if Bobby had somehow saved them and been able to be a guy that they could sell everybody on and make that work. And it seems like that's not going to be able to work now. Well, then how are the people who opted not to fire Sam and make a decision last year, how are those people not being held responsible for the mess you're in now? Because everyone now can look at it and say, oh, well, now there's 10 other jobs open. Hindsight's 2020. We should have fired him last year. Very legitimate people were saying publicly you should do that. You told those people to F off. You have to live with the results.
Mm-hmm. No, that's 100% fact. Let me ask you a question real quick before we continue to move on through the chat here. How much of a spoiler alert am I allowed to give you? Not the main event.
Don't
I won't. Not the main event. It hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
What about the co-main?
Give me a co-main spoiler. Dern did it? No way. All right.
Unanimous decision, bro.
That's brutal. That's a bad look. It's a bad look. But this day could not get any worse.
She's a champ till she ain't the champ no more, my friend. Okay. Gosh. John's happy. Trey R says, time to clean house from top to bottom, Hunter Yurachek included. This could have been avoided if we let Pittman go / retire last year. Yeah, I mean, with every week that passes, like with every other job that opens, and now you're seeing, I know his agency denied it or whatever, but the reports that, Sark is looking to get to the NFL or something. So could Texas be open? It's just like every single week, more and more happens to where you're going, gosh, boy, this is not the year to be in the middle of a coaching search. So I mean,
it just sucks that now people that weren't having these conversations last year and didn't want to have these conversations last year are going to do the thing where they're like, well, who could have known that it was going to play out this way? It's like, I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people did.
Yeah. Hey, Nomer says Hunter Yurachek having roughly the same salary as DVH is disgusting. I guess I never really thought about it that way.
That's one of the few things that Arkansas's athletic department, in terms of spending money, that's one of the few areas in the entire athletic department. If you go to football coach pay, basketball coach pay, of course, they're pretty high up there. Baseball coach pay, they're high up there, but not as high as you'd think. Athletic director pay, they are way up there.
Mm-hmm. Gosh. A couple more super chats here, and then we'll move on to some other things. John Sullivan says, Andrew, it's time. About time for Tom.
I've already got it pulled up. I'm just full disclosure,
from
really? Here on out, I've got it pulled up.
Okay.
So
has it started
yet?
Spoiler
away.
Okay. All right. Yeah, fair enough. Where were we? Quinn, he's back. He says, I was basically bang on with my score prediction. I said 34-24 yesterday. I knew our defense would show up. Shut up, Quinn. You're right, though. I mean,
Quinn knows ball.
I can't even say anything.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I will say though, as Arkansas rattled off 21 unanswered, and we went to halftime, and he was losing his mind, just like out loud at Razorback Stadium to Hugh Freeze. We were giving him some, like we were riling him up a little bit, and he took it in stride. Smiled it, took it in
Good
stride.
sport. Surprisingly good sport, I'd say.
And he did not rub it in at all. I thought at some point he was going to look at one of us and be like, "Hey, shut the hell up." He didn't do it. So
he didn't yell any obscenities at us, any Razorback fans. He honestly handled himself well in Razorback Stadium. I got to be honest.
Did a great job.
He was a gentleman, borderline.
Better than I would have done. DB, we appreciate the super chat. And
Michelle, get on that.
Okay, there it is. See, that's why we got an intern camera, man. Good stuff. He says, have to tell Frank Fletcher to kick rocks and overhaul the program top to bottom would be best if Hunter was gone as well. I don't know.
I was going to say, I thought this was Baz. This is not Baz.
Yeah. I don't know if you can tell him to kick rocks because, his rocks are gold. So
you mean Frank Bobby is not working the phones, Fletcher?
Oh man. Okay. Actually, we'll get to some more of your chats here. We still got plenty of time to go through this, but before we do got to go shout out to our friends over at Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas. My Halloween lights are the only thing that makes me happy in this world right now. Besides my son and my wife and Razorback basketball. But these things are really cool. You're cutting it close. We're less than a week away to Halloween, but you still have time to sign up for Halloween lights and get 50% off of your Christmas lights. Also, that's a really good deal. Or just get hooked up for Christmas. Like, you got to be all about the holiday season. You can't just be butt naked in your neighborhood, your house. That's not the way to go. It's lame. Don't be that guy. All the materials are provided, any color, any pattern. They do the installation, they do the maintenance, they do the takedown. It's completely hassle-free. Hit up our guy, Brett, today. Shoot him a text for a free estimate, 479-459-1380. It's Walter Christmas Lighting, your local holiday lighting experts. All right. Back to it we go. Oh, let's see what we got here. Dylan Henson says Bobby is officially out of the running for head coach. I don't think he is.
Dylan also dipped out on the chat. He's out.
He's out?
He's leaving until basketball season. He announced later after this, but I got to be honest. He's not out of the running for head coach.
He's not.
I don't think he should be considered at this very moment, but he is very much, if the state of Arkansas is going to have their way, he is not out of the running for head coach. He might not be out of the running for governor.
If they beat Mississippi State next week, people are going to start talking crazy again. That's just the way it is. It ain't going to be me, but people are going to start talking crazy.
The path forward is a very uphill path, but there is technically still a path to a tremendous turnaround or whatever, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Dylan also says, never take another basketball recruit to a football game again. I didn't even think about that while we were there. I should have looked down on the sidelines to see about Baba and,
see a raining football game. That's tough too.
Yeah, that is brutal, man. But a lot of times they try to get those guys out of there by halftime and go do some other things. Maybe that's what they did. Like 21-10, you caught a little vibe, and it's like, all right, let's we got practice or whatever. Or, let's go talk NIL or something. Let's meet you. Let's take you to the suite. You can meet John Tyson and everybody else. Maybe that's what they did. I don't know. E. Billicus 3968 says, at least we lost by 2 possessions this time. They did.
Not a 1 possession loss for Bobby Petrino. Tally it down.
Evolving as I
can't believe Auburn beat someone by 2 possessions. That is unbelievable.
So 33 points. Is that the most they've scored against a real team besides Baylor? I think it was 38-24 against Baylor early in the year.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I would qualify Baylor as a real team almost.
Yeah.
Not a good team, but a real team.
Not a burner, 25 says, this coaching cycle is going to be playing out exactly like the 2019 one. First SEC job available and last to be filled. I'm really worried there's going to be a ton of jobs open. Well, there are.
Yeah.
There's certainly going to be a ton of jobs open. And I'm semi looking forward to whatever it is we wind up doing tomorrow, whether it's, like our report card and everything, but doing that coaching search segment at the end, because the conversation has changed a little bit. And as far as I know here at 3:46 p.m., like everybody's lost. And so I don't know. I mean,
I'm sure history totally won't repeat itself, right?
Yeah, absolutely not. Jeffrey Cedar is blaming it on us. He says you two should both donate more money if you want the team to win. Yeah, that's it. That's going to change things.
We literally went and sat in the damn rain to watch them today.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, how on earth does this fall to us?
Yeah.
And also, you have no idea how much we're donating. Like,
Yeah.
we literally could be donating half of our paychecks. We're not, but I mean, like, to say this, that's
Well,
weak,
let me
better from the chat.
Actually, while we're live, I will hop on Arkansas's collective and make. Oh, wait, no, I won't. They don't have one. So yeah, we can just all hop onto the Pigpen Collective and donate our $1 a month, and that's going to save the football program. They wouldn't have lost to Auburn today if Andrew and I would just donate more damn money. That's what it is. I get it.
I mean, we literally gave a platform to the only fan-made collective we could find on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I just miss me with that.
Good Lord. Austin from work says, how is this more painful than the simulation? I forgot all about that simulation. What happened?
Did they just blow a huge lead in that game?
Maybe. I guess
Talon threw a pick or something. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I should remember, but I don't.
Yeah, it's fine. Drew Webb says Arkansas might be in on the betting scandal. I had the over at 57.5, and it was 57.3 or 57. 3 interceptions and a fumble in the fourth. I don't know. Yeah, that's how I feel. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I just do not know.
Yeah, wait, hold on. I just realized this is the first time like ever that Arkansas's over did not hit, like the over-under in an Arkansas game.
Really?
I mean, not ever, but like it's been a while since they've had an under hit.
Ryan says, fire everyone. Dre, the base cell says, we are cursed at a biblical level. We need to sacrifice something now, sitting in a deer stand while watching y'all.
Well, go get them. Hope you have a better success than Talon Green did in the fourth quarter.
Is a sacrifice going to fix this? I don't know. Yeah, I do hope that. I do hope that's the case. Hit your target, buddy. JBuck33 says, head coach this, head coach that. TG cost us with that type of play. Can't have 3 interceptions in the fourth. Not good at all, no matter how you put it. You're going to miss him when he's gone. What's it going to look like next year with your quarterback situation?
I have a few problems with this. One, we very much have addressed the Talon Green thing. Like, we did a whole segment where I was very dramatic and acted like his career was over because of like, I don't know how else we could have addressed the Talon Green thing without outright saying screw the like, we were respectful because we respect the kid and we respect him for being a Razorback and all that. So we're not going to come out here and bash the kid, but like it's not like we ducked it for that reason. We addressed it. We did a full segment on like, yeah, that's really tough when you're Talon Green and you're leading the country in yards. Like, you got to make these plays. You got to win these games. It's unfortunate that he didn't, come up and make it happen in this situation. But also, you have a 5th-year senior quarterback who's in year 2 of the offense. Like, I understand, like, you can get better, you can find a better quarterback maybe, but like, I don't know, man. I just don't think there's a ton of guys out there that are going to be substantially better than Talon Green.
Yeah. And like, I understand what he's saying. Like, I think I even said it earlier. Like, I don't blame Bobby necessarily for Talon coughing it up 3 times in the fourth quarter. My whole thought process when I say it's just got to be a top to bottom change, like an overhaul, at some point things just stink and you need to flush it. You know what I mean? And whether that just makes him a casualty, like I said, I think that they had been making some improvements after switching to the interim there. But I mean, do you guys not feel like it's just time for something different? You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with that. And like, yeah, I get it with Talon. My other thought to that, I'll just say, J-Buck, is what would you do in this situation? Like, after the pick 6, do you bench him for the guy who's not really played a meaningful snap in his career to come in there and try to will you back to victory? Do you do it after the second one? You know what I mean? This isn't even like the Malachi Singleton conversation because KJ Jackson, and I'm not saying he's not capable of it. We just don't know because we haven't seen him put into any of those situations or those moments. So,
Yeah, I'm with you where it's like, I've seen a lot of the chat being like, why was Talon in the game? Why didn't they bench Talon? And like, I get it. Obviously the guy struggled and, maybe that's a conversation we'll have moving forward now that the season is moving closer to being like maybe lost. But like in that moment, like you said, I don't know how turning to a very inexperienced guy is like the obvious decision. And do y'all really think that was going to make a difference? Because again, if you're going to make Talon the scapegoat, well, then you need to be able to replace him with someone who is going to actually make it work. And I just don't know, with the way things being currently constructed the way they are, like why that would be a viable option, or why we have to do that rather than just addressing that it's a top to bottom overhaul that you really are going to end up needing.
This is a tough defense, and with the conditions and everything, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to make excuses or whatever, but it is what it is. Chris Bennett says, my son is 10 days old and has seen us lose twice. That's crazy. My son was like 16 hours old the last time Arkansas won a football game.
I was gonna say, he got that one little win in there.
He did, yeah. He snuck a little Arkansas State victory in there. But after that, it's been all downhill since. We didn't even put him in a Razorback onesie today. Like we've been decking him out for game days and stuff. And we finally decided we just got to stop doing this. Maybe it's him. And he's not going anywhere. So, yeah, it's crazy. Well, I do hope. Well, at some point, Chris, your son is going to see Arkansas win a football game. Will it be this season? The jury's still out, my friend. But goodness, Lance became a member. We appreciate you. Woo Pig Nation became a member. We appreciate you as well. Quinn is back. It says, crazy stat. We've won 5 straight games at Arkansas.
Is that true? I mean, that sounds about right. I mean, I know they had
at least 3.
The Travis Williams game in 2023. You had the really awful loss to Brian Harsin in 2021. Kind of the one thing that didn't make sense in 2021. 2019, you had the chest pass game. 2017, they got beat bad with Cole Kelly starting at quarterback. And then 2015 was the last win. So, yeah.
Yeah. Dang. We've got Chance Nichols says, someone tell Talon we were wearing red. Yeah, that was crazy, man. In the third quarter, or excuse me, the fourth quarter. I don't even know what else to say about it. I thought the pick six, not a great throw. I can also acknowledge it was a good play, but sheesh, man.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do?
By the way, I still see some people, like I see this comment right now that comes in and says, why not put KJ in? Is he going to throw an interception? Would we lose? I don't think why not is a good enough reason to do something.
Hindsight, though. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's easy to look back at it and say, okay, you had 4 possessions and 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter. How could it have been worse?
Yeah, somebody could have done better than that. Sure, but it's I think y'all are really underselling like what that would have looked like in the moment. If Talon Green, who 1 week ago today was like leading, or literally 1 hour ago was leading the country in all these stats and everything, and people love Talon Green. He's your senior. To bench him after 1 interception, everyone around the country would have been like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. And then after the second interception, the game was over. You know what I mean? So it's like, at what point were they really realistically, after the Omega Blake fumble, was that when you should have benched him? Like, I don't know. That was not a realistic option that anybody was talking about, nor should they have been.
And I also don't know how you come back from that, or I don't know if they even care at this point, but if you bench Talon in that spot with the game still very much up for grabs, like you just turn around and go back to him against Mississippi State, or are you ready to fully commit to? I don't know. It's a complicated decision. It really is. Yeah. But I get it. Like anybody who's looking at after that fourth quarter wondering why the hell didn't you like, I understand the like the baseline thought process there, but it's complicated, man. Logan Mobley says, save us, Coach Cal. God, I hope so. Could they just not lose that exhibition Monday, please? Like, I don't know, like the pressure's back on,
Maybe if they do, no one will notice. I know it's on ESPNU, but like maybe it'll just slip under the radar.
Yeah. Chance Nichols says, move the B-ball court to DW and sell it out all season. Maybe the B-ball team can make us some money to hire a decent staff. I mean, they can't even fill Bud Walton Arena halfway up. So,
Yeah, today's not the day to make that argument, but
I like the premise. Like it's a better product and everything, but very lightly, lighter than expected crowd, I would say, at Bud Walton Arena last night. But it was lively, the folks who were there. I am very anxious because this wasn't part of the season ticket package, by the way. So I am anxious to see what it looks like once we get into the regular season games here, after all the reseeding and everything, because they sold a ton of them Like we know that's the case, but how many butts are they going to have in seats? I'm going to be pretty interested to see what that winds up looking like.
It's going to be very different. As much as we made fun of Kentucky's atmosphere last year, it might be a little different this year in Walton.
Yeah. What happened in that fight?
It's not worth talking about, Curtis.
Didn't go well.
Well, I believe it's going to end in no contest is what's going to happen here.
No contest. Okay, we'll talk about it after. BDJB, appreciate the super chat. He says, do you think Golish is going to get a bigger job than Arkansas since Bobby can't solidify himself? I'm about to hop aboard the Golish train. Again, he just blew a huge lead and lost to Memphis. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, I don't think Golish is going to get the Florida job. I think that would probably be a stretch.
He's not.
Maybe Auburn takes a run at him. I don't know. I don't know what Golish's priorities look like of like where he would value maybe Virginia Tech or something like that. I think it's very possible he stays put at South Florida and gets a bigger job later. Like I think there's a chance he just sits it out this year. But yeah, I think Golish, frankly, is a guy that Arkansas should at the very least be considering, but I don't think they have considered him to this point.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let me just send a quick message here. I don't know if we're going to have a special guest or not. We'll see.
We might get an epic tale. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I just now looked at my phone and saw a string of messages in there. So I'm, we're reacting in real time here.
Oh,
okay, here we go.
We have a statement incoming for the Petrino, the people that love Petrino, which by the way, there are a lot of them. We love Petrino as well. But if you're like a huge Petrino guy, your leader is about to make a statement.
Yes. Okay. Well, here we go. There he is. John Neighbors.
What's up, fellas?
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, great to see you.
Glad you're here. Apologize for the circumstances. Please tell us how you feel.
Well, I just wanted to make it clear because I know you guys have talked about it and you've broken it down and everything, but I've had a lot of people tweeting at me. And listen, as I said all week long, you can't lose this game and expect Bobby Petrino to be the head guy anymore. And that's how I feel. Yeah, he can't be the head guy. You got to move on. You got to blow it up. You got to have something than what it was today. But what a just absolute disaster. It's just amazing. It doesn't matter which team you face. You're going to find a way to lose to them. And if you would have told me that they were going to hold Auburn to one single offensive touchdown and still lose by 9, that's an impressive feat. I don't think people really understand it, but just a disaster, man. It sucks. I hate it for the fans. I hate it for any of the fans that showed up today. There may be nobody there against Mississippi State next week. There'll probably be more Missouri fans in Razorback Stadium than Arkansas fans when that happens. But anyways, I've just wanted to make sure that everyone understands that, the whole Bobby thing, and a lot of people accuse me of saying like I was vying for the job for Bobby, or I wanted him as my number one candidate. Never was the case, but he is no longer in consideration for me. So just wanted to make that clear.
Can't wait to see what that poll looks like tomorrow or Monday or whenever. Like what's the shift going to be?
Yeah.
It's crazy how quickly, because when the Arkansas job opened back, I guess, what was that now? Almost exactly a month since it's been open. There was so much hope and possibility. And we had that Bobby line in the last line, and that was certainly something that was on our radar. Now it kind of looks like the Bobby thing's not a realistic option. And I don't know what the leader in the clubhouse really is. Like, it's crazy how quickly 1 month can just change the entire complexion of the way we feel about all of it.
Appreciate Chance for the super chat. He says, I think Bud will sell out once the regular season starts. It will be sold out, but will there be a maximum amount of asses in seats? That's what I'm going to be looking forward to seeing, because it's been sold out for 4 or 5 straight years. I think
going on a million straight, 19,200.
So I hope they fill that sucker up. It's going to be a really good team, and there's some exciting games in there. Well, you know how it is. Like I don't expect 19-2 or whatever in there when they're playing Queens or whoever it is on a a random night or whatever. You hope it's got some pop and everything, but for the most part, man, like when you get Louisville in there and those SEC games, I hope it's thick from a crowd's perspective. Joshua Byers says, I'm done. My last request as a Hog fan, please have 6 Arkansas football players be my pallbearer so they can let me down one last time.
Dang, Josh Byers, are you abandoning ship with Petrino already? That's crazy.
Is literally this time 1 week ago. He was on our heads about it.
Yeah. Dang, Josh. I thought we were going to at least do this dance for a few more weeks.
John, Quinn loves you. Loves you, man.
Love you too, Quinn. Congrats on the win, man. I know it. I still think your team is not very good. I still think Hugh Freeze is going to get fired, but
that's a fact. Yeah, they kicked the can down the road for a week or whatever.
Yeah.
But.
By the way, I know this is just random. I want y'all's thoughts real quick. Did y'all think it was dumb? It worked out, but that Hugh Freeze went for it on 4th down instead of just kicking the field goal to go up 2 possessions late in the game. Like, reason being is because I was like, this dude's throwing this. Like, I just felt like that was kind of a weird. I mean, it worked out.
It was good. The reason I said yes to going for it is because one, it was 4th and 1, 4th or 2 maybe. Like, it was very close. And I felt like the field goal was at that point, it was like a 48-yard. It was going to be a long field goal.
Okay.
And like, if you had missed that, that would have been pretty backbreaking. You get a first down, which was very likely in that situation. You could pretty much end the game, which they didn't do, but they pretty much did by kicking a shorter field goal.
Hey, listen, that Auburn kicker better be like player of the week. 18 points for that young man. Good job, kids.
Gracious. Yeah, he was on it. There were a lot of things that I saw Hugh Freeze do that I thought were silly, but doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's again, Arkansas is they are the common denominator. My friend.
We thought they were going to pour the Gatorade on Hugh Freeze.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kill me.
Guys, have anything else to say before we wrap this up? Anything that'll make you feel better going into the rest of the weekend? Or
I mean, honestly, like I think we're just I honestly need. I know this is gonna sound crazy. As much as I get accused of hating the chat, I need the chat. I need to like see where everyone's at. Because right now everyone's emotional and they're kind of sad about the game. But like moving forward, I think it's going to be interesting once we wake up on Monday and we've had a couple days to sleep on this, like where everyone's heads really are at. But I think we have reached complete anarchy in the Arkansas fan base. Like I don't think anybody has because usually we at least have a group of people that are like, oh, we have the obvious answer. It's this. And I don't even think that exists in this moment right now. And so it's going to be fascinating, man. I'm hurt. My feelings are hurt. My heart is hurt. And this sucks, but we appreciate you guys for being here. Seriously, everybody that's tuned into this post game. But man, I just don't know how to keep making sense of the unique ways we find ourselves suffering as Razorback fans in ways that we really don't expect. Like again, I can't hammer this home enough. I woke up today with like no plans. Like even if Arkansas had lost by 40, I really wouldn't have let that upset me because I was kind of going in preparing for the worst. But the way when you go up 11, now you have created a path to where you can hurt me. And they did it. And it just sucks. I shouldn't let them have that power over me.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm always still going to care. You know, it's like, it's always fun to be like, I don't care, but I'm still going to care. Like it still sucks. It still is a sucky feeling. So, I mean, sometimes it's worse than others, but if you're talking about like some sort of excitement and everything, to me, it's like obviously basketball. Great. Final Four booked already, so we got that to look forward to. And they won't hurt us. But, I think the thing from the football side is it kind of goes back to the thing about Petrino, but the positive I have in this is now your direction is clear. It's no longer this, this variable of the Petrino angle kind of filtering a little bit of it. The pathway is clear. You need it from the top to bottom, blown up, redone. And I believe that that's the direction they're going to go. I believe that there's certain people that are in the administration that will have zero say in what this coaching hire will be. And I do believe that you are going to have the financial backing to whichever coach you hire to make work. I do believe that, but it's a matter of, it's unfortunate that this is the way it went down. It's unfortunate that you lost to Auburn 5 straight times as home, as Quinn so lovingly pointed out. And it just sucks. So grit it and bear it. Final 4 games, keep tapping in with us, keep having fun with us. I know, being basketball's here. We're still going to talk football, still going to do coaching search, still going to have that coach's vote, which everyone gets so angry about for some reason. It's going to be fun. So, but appreciate everybody tuning in and being with us.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A couple final super chats as we wrap up here. Cat John Nye says TG can't handle high pressure situations. He's the anti-Kobe. He's not going to escape those allegations today. We certainly talked about that quite a bit. And then Cody James says football sucks. I know this is the post game, but I got hoops. See you in FedEx Forum. # Darius, # leak. That's it's our saving grace right now. We are looking forward to Monday's exhibition game. No doubt about it.
We got hoops, man. We got hoops. And like John said, there's still plenty of very interesting conversations to have over the next, 3 months or so. It's there's a lot up in the air, man. I mean, the fate of the university is on the line. It's not a hyperbole to say there's a lot that's going to be, at stake here in these next couple months in terms of football, but we ain't going nowhere. We're going to be right back on this thing. Basketball, baseball, football. We do it all, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we'll leave on this one here. Just saw it from Tamara. She said, I'm just joining. My daddy passed away, and I've been really hurting. Absolutely hate to hear that, Tamara. We're thinking about you. We love you to death. You're one of our favorites here, and a reminder. As frustrated as we get, and sometimes we argue with each other and everything like that. The reason that we do it is because we are just kind of one big, weird, dysfunctional family. So everybody give a shout out to Tamara, man. Send her your thoughts and your love and your prayers and all those things. And we're thinking about you and hope everything, gets to feeling better for you soon. But we certainly do appreciate everybody through the good times and the bad. And we're going to get out of here for now, though. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the Inside Arkansas YouTube channel already. Find us wherever you find your podcast. All of our content, Inside Arkansas Football, our recruiting podcast, Pod the Palace, Bombastic, Inside Arkansas Live, all those things, wherever you listen, Spotify, Apple, whatever, we'll be there. And we'll be back here, I don't know, at some point. I would imagine we're going to have some content out there for you tomorrow. But appreciate everybody. For John Neighbors, Andrew Ellisman, Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas. Everybody have a good rest of your day. Try to at least enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next time.